Today's Bee Week post will be a video because we have so much to cover. Let's get started with inside the hive. You see my dad smoking them right now. This calms him down and gets them to go into the hive. Now he'll pull off the telescoping lid so we can get into the hive. We have two hive bodies sitting on top of each other so we can fit a jar right there. That jar is full of sugar water. They love to eat it. We basically gave it to them as a housewarming gift. As he pulls it off, you'll see several bees still trying to drink the sugar water. Now we'll smoke it just a little bit more to make sure that they're calm before we pull off the inner cover. We have to use a tool to pull off the inner cover because the bees make basically a glue. This glue is called propolis. Now that it's off, we can go through the frames. We'll smoke them some more just to be safe. Now we'll get our tools ready and break apart the first two frames. The first frame doesn't have much in it because they haven't had time to fill it with honey yet, so we'll just put it right back in the hive. The second frame didn't have much either, so I'll just speed through this part because there is nothing exciting in it. So there's the second frame. Now we'll put it back up. Now we get to the third frame. This frame had something very important in it. If you read yesterday's post, you might be able to figure out what it is. Right here, we notice that the queen bee is crawling up this frame. If you look closely, you'll see her. She's a little bit bigger than the other bees, and she has a little red dot on her back. So there she is right there where my dad's pointing. It might be hard to see her because she blends in with the other bees, but I have a picture to show her up close. That's her right there in the middle with the pink dot. Now we're looking at comb where she just laid eggs. This is also hard to see in the video, so I took another picture to show it better. Those little white dots in the middle of the cell are the eggs. There's nothing else in our third frame, so we go ahead and put it back in the hive. Now we pull out our fourth frame. My dad noticed something else at the bottom of this one. If you look closely, that bee right there that he's poking, it's a little bit bigger than the other bees. That's a drone. They're the only male bees in the hive. Now we notice something else. If you look closely, you see white stuff in the bottom of these. That's a larva. This brown area right here where they capped off, that's the brood. Brood is bees that are growing. Now we pull out our fifth frame. This frame is mainly filled with brood. That's a lot of bees. When we flip this frame over, we notice some capped honey. That's brood right there, but the lighter stuff right here is honey. Now we pull out our next frame. This frame has bridge comb on it. Bridge comb is something that the bees will build if there's a gap bigger than 3/8 of an inch. They don't like big open areas in their hive. We've skipped a couple frames now because there was nothing interesting in them. But now this frame has some eggs in it. If you look closely, you can see the eggs in the bottom of the cells. On our next frame, there's some more bridge comb. In our next frame, we find some pollen stores. That yellowish orange color is the pollen in the cells. Sounds like it would be terrible for my allergies. In our last frame, we find a hive beetle. The bees do their best to keep them out, but sometimes a couple slip through. Right here, you can see them trying to push him into a cell to keep him contained. Now we smoke them one last time before putting back on the inner cover. Now we put our other hive body on the top and put some new sugar water in there. The bottom of the jar has tiny little holes for the bees to drink through. On goes the telescoping lid, and we're done.